Hi, my name is W6. Hi, my name is W666 Gaming. My name Hi, my name is Hi, my name is W6, and today I'm going to be doing a review of all of my mice. I've got about 9 of them, but only 7 of them can be with us today. This here is the Zowie S2, Zowie Divina, new lineup. Yes, it's a very nice mouse, but I'll get my mice out first. So, this is my S2 Divina. This is my G Pro wireless, expensive mouse. This is my G305 wireless, G502 wired, of course. This is my Zowie EC2 white edition. This is my SteelSeries Rival 310, and I can reach forward towards my G303. So, the first review I'm going to be doing, if I push all of these mice to the side, is the wireless ones first, because they're the easiest ones. So, this is the Logitech G Pro wireless. It's got, I don't know the exact specifications, but it's got a 3366 sensor, as standard for most Logitech G gaming mice these days. Of course, it's wireless with a price point of around £130. Would be like $135 to $150 in the US. It's an ambidextrous mouse, of course, with modular side buttons. The scroll wheel feels very nice and tactile, with obviously these mouse 3 buttons going on. And the scroll wheel, it feels quite tight, like the RocketJumpNinja. It has a nice feel to it, although, you know, it's not as nice as the Zowie scroll. People hate Zowie scroll wheels, and I like them, just they're too loud, they're too slow, and mine's glitchy, so I might have to send my copy back. Anyway, it has RGB lighting. It's only 80 grams, which is outstanding for a mouse, but you can really tell why the price point comes into play here, and that can be a difficulty for some people because, you know, price is bad. But no, I mean, I think if you're willing to spend the money, it is a great mouse, and I think you should get a mouse that's 60% of your hand size. My hand size, measure from these lines here to the top, from the base to the top. Mine's about 18.5 centimeters, and width this way to this way is around 10.5 centimeters. This mouse does feel nice. It's basically like a small to medium mouse. I would not consider this large. Large would be considered like the Death Adder Elite, Death Adder Chroma, or Death Adder 2013 edition. As for the clicks, here's a sound test, and this one. So the clicks, they do feel nice, you know, standard Logitech. They're Omron switches, not Hawano switches, don't get confused, because they don't have much sort of... they're light clicks, they don't take that much power to click. The software that comes with the Logitech G software you can install is very good. It has an incredible battery life as well. How it works is, read the instruction manual, please. But I'll give you a brief. So here's a little magnet, you pop it out, take out the receiver, put it in the receiver plugs into your computer, my receiver's over there, you press the on switch, and there you go, it's good to go. Amazing battery life, it's a fantastic mouse. Anyway, out of 10, I would probably rate the Logitech G Pro wireless, not to be confused with the Logitech G Pro wired, the Logitech G Pro wireless, I would rate it a solid 10 out of 10 mouse. It just depends on how you perform with it. Obviously no latency. Of note, it performs the same as a wired mouse. Next up we have the Logitech G305. You may be thinking, W6, this is very similar to the Logitech G Pro wired. Well, yes, it is. Not to be confused with the Logitech G Pro wireless. This is the Logitech G305 in white edition. We have the scroll wheel, standard Logitech scroll wheel, not very slippery, but not very tight. Like it feels nice, as in it feels kind of a bit rough. But no, it's a fine scroll wheel, not too loud, not too quiet. We actually have no RGB on this, which is pretty much the price point here. This comes at, I got this for what, £35? I think on a sale, however it's normally like 50, 40. This is incredible for a wireless mouse of this caliber, but it does have the famous 3366 sensor, which is, you know, top of the market right now, along with the 3360. 3366 being just a variation of the 3360. As for clicks, the clicks are fine. It's an ambidextrous shaped mouse, but you do not have side buttons on both sides, only on the left hand side you have the side buttons. Mouse 3 feels fine as well, quite nice. Overall, I'd say it's a brilliant mouse. It's just the shape does make you feel like you've done nothing but wank for about 10 hours straight. You know, long gaming sessions, I can see what might be deemed uncomfortable. One thing I do not like, maybe it's just my copy, but the mouse feet or the mouse skates are fucking poor. I've actually got like BTEC Hyperglides on here, and it still feels really rough on my QCK. And when I use a different mouse pad like a HyperX Fury or a HyperX Fury Pro Speed, which is like a coated kind of fabric material, it feels not as rough, but it also feels bumpy and inconsistent. So that's one thing to be aware of. Some people love the stock feet. I had to get these sort of fake Hyperglides. Still no good. So I'd rate this a solid. It's just the mouse feet kind of let it down, and the shape is. Some people, it's love it or hate it. So, you know, I'm a fan of this shape, but there are more comfortable shapes out there.
Break character, man.
How did I break character?
Saying that character the same way. You went
sorry.
Normal voice for like about 2 minutes.
Sorry. Next on the market, the SteelSeries Rival 310. It's a ergonomic mouse, right-handed, and it's got these slight comfort grooves. Also got some nice textured grip here, which is actually grippy, prevents slipping, and I have to say it's one of the most comfortable mice I have ever used. As for the scroll wheel, it's nice, really nice scroll wheel, although I can see how some people might find it a little bit too loose, but then again, it's all down to personal preference. Maybe feeling a little bit cheap. The clicks are good, a bit more tension than the Logitech clicks, but then again, also does have RGB and a pretty good software. However, it only has 2 DPI levels, so you are going to have to create custom profiles if you want more than 2 DPI levels, which is pretty, excuse my language here, pretty fucking poor. It's got its own SteelSeries True Move 3 optical sensor, which is pretty great. It's one of the best sensors out there. I'm pretty sure it's just a variation of the 3360, so nothing to worry about here. Sensor performance is great. The coating feels nice as well. It's just an all-round solid mouse. Durability, I'm not too sure. I do not smash my mice, but if you are one of those angry people that smash your mice, may not be the best fit for you. SteelSeries are known for having perhaps poor quality. I don't want to point any names, and I am a SteelSeries fan, as you can see with my QCK heavy here, so I'm not against SteelSeries. I do think it's a fantastic mouse. Not my main mouse, however, because the next mouse is the Zowie EC2A. These are Hawano switches, the Zowie EC2A. This is the white edition, by the way. Coating is glossy. For the primary buttons, left click and right click, you can see how they're actually attached to the shell. These are not separate like in most Logitech buttons, and the SteelSeries buttons themselves. So I want to see Zowie in the future do side buttons that are, primary buttons that aren't part of the shell. It's comfortable enough. In fact, no, it's a very comfortable shape. It's an ergonomic mouse once again, and the scroll wheel is very loud and feels very slow. You have to put a lot of effort for it to actually work. Not work, but you know, it's tiring doing this. So let me give you a little sound test. The buttons are quite stiff. Not very good for jitter clicking, although some people say they are good, so I don't really know. But I'd say the scroll wheel's fine for gaming. It's just for browsing it is quite a pain. Side buttons, they do feel quite mushy on both sides, as in like they have quite a lot of travel. It feels quite cheap, but then again, it's a fantastic mouse with a 3310 sensor. This is looking out to be possibly the worst mice of all the ones I'm going to show you. However, it does appear to be one of my personal favourites. Maybe that's down to the shape and weight, which by the way I think is around 90 grams, or 90 to 100 grams, which is considerably light, but not the lightest out there. One thing I do love about this mouse are the skates. I do love Zowie skates. You can actually get the Zowie EC2B, which is the Zowie EC2A, better sensor, 3360 sensor instead of the 3310 sensor, and it has different skates. I much prefer the original Zowie skates, or the original BenQ Zowie skates. For functionality, it works fine, works very nicely. However, it does not come with software. It is driverless, which means that you have the DPI levels only on the mouse itself. So you have these DPI levels on the button here. You have 400, which is red light on the scroll wheel, which is quite nice. You have purple light, which is 800 DPI. You have, I believe, green light, which is 1600 DPI, and blue light, which is, 1800 DPI, and blue light, which is 3200 DPI. I believe those are the correct figures. If not, you can just play the red light, green light game. Red light, green light, red light, green light. Anyway, but no, fantastic mouse, glides really smoothly, even on a rough QCK heavy. So yes, top choice mouse, used by lots of professional gamers, high quality stuff. It does have a very nice cable, easy to fit into your mouse bungees. There are some complaints with Logitech mice that the cables are thick and braided, so that's focus please camera. Sorry, I can't afford a camera, but I can afford all the mice. So next on our list is the Logitech G502, possibly one of the most praised gaming mice on the market, and for good reason as well. It is a pretty fantastic mouse. However, it's not for me. Technically, it has a 3366 sensor, the best on the market. It has, nice clicks. They're light clicks as well. They're quite pleasant clicks actually. It is quite heavy, coming at around 128 grams. That is without added weight. So it's just a little magnet thing that you slide back on. But I'm not the best with magnets. I don't think I've done it properly. Obviously, it will be easier than this when you get yours, but anyway. So, how do I like the feel of it? No. It scratches so much on my pad, and I can feel like my pad is wearing out just by doing this. I don't know whether it's the cable's getting caught on something. It's not in my bungee currently, but it does feel rough and not the most comfortable of mice, especially considering all the side buttons you have. You have one button here, the sniper button, lowers the sensitivity for a small amount of time until you release. Good for Fortnite sniper shots. These buttons here has some grips as well, which I do not find all that grippy, but it maintains grip well enough. This is a button, this is a button, this is a button, this is a button, this is a button. This scroll wheel obviously has a button, but it's like a hyper scrolling feature. So I press this, you can see how it's infinite scrolling until I press this button again, and it stops. So this normal scroll, this is hyper scroll. Good for browsing very long web pages. If you're trying to get to that porno that you watched last week and you can't find it, it's on page 10. This mouse has got you covered. Tech specs are great. It's not comfortable for me because my thumb rests exactly where they decided to put the sniper button. But no, it feels like it scratches, so not one of my top picks, but it does have RGB as well, so that's always a fucking plus. Anyway, I do not like the mouse, but I can't deny that it is a great mouse. There we go. Now, onto one of my personal favourites, the Logitech G303. This is one of their older mice, Logitech mice, with like a sort of almost, what's this pattern called?
Can't see.
It's like a honeycomb pattern. Feels weird, as compared to also with like the G305. It's the same sort of shape. This just has a bit more curvature. This is almost like a diamond shape. Maybe that's just because of use and how old this is. This is actually second hand because it is not being sold anymore because it got replaced by the G Pro wired and also the G305 wireless. Great mouse, 3366 sensor, great amazing specs. The RGB on this mouse is possibly my favourite feature. I wish I could show it, but I'm too lazy. Sorry. So the RGB, this glows up and the G glows up, and it all looks very sexy. Very nice mouse. Can't complain. I'd give this mouse a 10 out of 10 if it was still sold. Well, oh yeah, the shape isn't very safe. It's not a safe shape. You can try it. If you hate it, that's fine. If you try it, you love it. Brilliant. Great mouse. I reckon a 10 out of 10. Shroud uses it. There's a plus. Now we have the final mouse of my own collection, my newest entry, the Zowie S2 Divina. Zowie Divina S2. This comes in two colours, pink and blue. It's very similar to other Zowie mice in terms of the coating. It's similar to the white EC2A or the white Zowie mice. It's just blue coating, and I personally do like it. Aesthetically, I enjoy it. On a black pad, it still looks pretty great in my opinion. Some people might not like it. I love it. In terms of clicks, Zowie have actually upped their game in my opinion. They've added lighter clicks. These clicks are actually much lighter now, which I'm happy to see. The scroll wheel is still pretty cancerous. It feels a little bit more rubbery than before, a little bit like softer, like squishier, but I don't mind. It's just my particular copy has quite a glitchy scroll wheel. Let me know if any of you have the same issue. When I scroll down, it briefly scrolls up and then goes down. When I scroll up, it does the opposite. So it's not a very well functioning squirrel, but maybe your copy will be fine. This is also limited stock and limited retailers as well, so make sure you get this make sure you get this mouse as soon as you can if you like the look of it. For specs, it's the first Zowie mouse with a 3366 sensor that isn't a re-release of a previous mouse. This is its own shape. It's almost like a mix between the FK2 and the ZA13. Yeah, no, it's a nice shape, it's comfortable enough. I can see how some people might not like this shape, as in it's not the most comfortable shape I've ever used, but it is workable, and it's not actually too slippery. It's not too slippery. I do enjoy the shape, I do enjoy using this mouse. The clicks are fine, the side buttons are great as well. You know, it is a fantastic mouse, and obviously the skates are my favourite part. I do love Zowie skates, Zowie mouse feet, the stock feet that is. Obviously, again, driverless, requires no software. Some people that's a good thing, some people that's a bad thing. Travelling to pro tournaments, LAN tournaments, whatever. That's great for travelling. DPI, you have the DPI switches. Again, same DPI colours. I keep mine on 800. And then you also have a polling rate option. So you have 125, 500, and 1000. I keep it on 1000. So the cable is also slightly raised. You see this little piece of plastic here. Very nice feel to the mouse. I may consider getting a Cooler Master Swift RX because this is probably my favourite mouse pad, the QCK Heavy. However, it's like 3mm thick, and I do enjoy using it. However, it has gotten very rough, as my cat likes to sit on it and scratch it. So yes, I think I may be upgrading soon. I do have lots of spare mouse pads in like a drawer. I have the SteelSeries QCK Plus Hyper Beast Edition, which looks great aesthetically, although it feels like it has a coating on it. I do not enjoy playing on that. And when I scratch this doesn't actually hurt. This doesn't actually make me cringe. If I scratch a coated mousepad, like the HyperX Fury S Pro Speed, that has like coating on it, and it makes me cringe when I do that, so I don't necessarily like that. I also have a Zowie GSR. I am a big fan of the GSR, however it's not my main pad, because I don't know actually. I also have a HyperX Fury Pro S, just in a regular black one. Myself more consistent on this QCK Heavy. I do love the QCK Heavy, it's very nice. You may say, why don't you get another QCK Heavy? Well, because I want to try something new. Of course, you can trust what I say, because I've been playing video games since I was about 8 years old. Anyway, thank you for watching my video, and with that said, guys, peace. Yes!